Method of Science. Hello and welcome to the YouTube channel D Creations Resources. We have been looking at different methods of acquiring knowledge, and as I mentioned in the last episode, I would be talking about method of science. So we saw in the last episode that the meaning of the word science in fact is knowledge. So it's a Latin term which means knowledge. So the science and knowledge in a way go hand in hand. Now, what is this method of science? Well, it's a practical methodology of acquiring knowledge by formulating specific questions and systematically finding answers. So, this is actually the most reliable methods of acquiring knowledge when if you compare it to the other methods that we had mentioned earlier. Now, the questions that are formulated and the answers which are predicted are going to be scrutinized on the basis of the observations, the measurements, verification, and then evaluation. So, the first thing that you do in a scientific method is you propose a hypothesis that you feel that okay, this phenomenon can be explained by whatever reason that you give. And then what you do is you carry out experiments and you test this hypothesis. So, testing or verification of this hypothesis is involved, and that can be done on the basis of empirical and measurable evidences. So you need to provide reasons. You can't just say that this is true because somebody is saying it, or because you have this gut feeling, or because you have repeatedly heard it. No, such things don't work when it comes to method of science. And another interesting aspect of this scientific method is that it believes in self correction, in the sense that if some new evidence is found, then whatever was said earlier must be revised. The theories should be revised, or new laws should be made based on new evidences. So there is no, one can say, permanent truth. Anything and everything is true unless and until it is proved to be false. So this is a very important aspect where it's not static, right? It's a dynamic process where it's evolving all the time. In fact, you can define science as a body of knowledge which is attained through repeated observation and experimentation done methodically, which is always amenable or open to correction, modification, or improvement upon getting better evidences. This definition also tells you how science is different from common sense. You can compare a common sense on someone who has newly joined on a job, and science is a veteran, okay, who's been working there for several years and who has had a lot of experience. So that's, you can say, a simplistic way of comparing both. And of course, science is closest to philosophy, but it is more systematic as compared to philosophy. So science has both the content and the process to develop the content, and this process is basically the research. Thank you.